Hello, everybody. This is Bryan Baugh, creator of Wolf and Batsy, and I'm here with one of my best friends, Josh Howard.
What's up? It's been a while, Brian. It's been too long.
Well, October is a busy month for me. Halloween.
The last 2 months have been like super crazy for me. I mean, it's like one thing after another. Like, I think I told you last time, like I broke my foot,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got sick, and then my daughter broke her hand.
No
And-
way.
Yeah. And then
Aw.
she got sick, and then my other daughter totaled my car. She's okay.
Oh, you did tell me about that a few
Yeah.
weeks ago. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
She's okay, but like, so we had to go through all that stuff of like insurance, getting a new car.
Oh, that's.
And then I woke up on my birthday sick. I got sick again. So I spent a week like really sick, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's been quite a couple months.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, October is just a nonstop busy month for me anyway, because again, Halloween, which is, a big month of planning for me anyway. But now that I have a daughter, she's 6. So, of course, it's even a bigger deal to her. So, it's just nonstop planning and preparation. It's like, I feel like Halloween is for me what Thanksgiving is for my wife. It's like a whole month of preparing for the day.
Yeah.
But yeah. So actually, since we're catching up, if you'll indulge me, I'm gonna show you my Halloween pictures.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll show you a couple of them. I was the Wolf Man, obviously. My wife was this kind of ghost character, and my little girl was just dead set on being a skeleton. She's so funny. And it's really weird. Like, I'm not one of those dads that tries to force the things I love on my kid. I never tried to program her to be a monster kid like I was, but she just does like it. I mean, I just go about my business and she pays attention to whatever she pays attention to. But like, when she was 4, she was like, I want to be a pumpkin, that year.
Yeah.
And we were like, are you sure you don't want to be like Baby Shark or Peppa Pig or any of those nice characters you watch on TV? She's like, no, I want to be a pumpkin. And this year it was the same attitude. It was just like she made up her mind. I want to be a skeleton.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's this one like little kiddie sing-song video she loves called The Skeleton Dance. I think where all the singers have the costumes like that. I think that's where she got the idea. But
Yeah.
she wanted to be a skeleton. So, and of course, funny thing is, I made up my mind last Halloween last year. I was a ghost kind of ghoul character last year, and I just decided, like, you know what? Damn it, Wolfman's my favorite monster. Next year, I'm going to be a classic Wolfman. So I was kind of working on this for a while. But the funny thing about this costume is, so I went to the thrift store to find some old clothes to tear up and make into the Wolfman's body. And I was just looking for like a flannel shirt, right?
Mhm.
But instead I found this crazy bathrobe. and I thought that'd be even funnier to be like, that's kind of funny, like to be a Wolfman with a bathrobe. So I cut out the elbows with fur sticking out the arms and in the back and everything. There's a close up of my mask. But I was also thinking of like Eddie Munster's doll Wolfie,
Yeah.
which wears a bathrobe. So I'm sort of like the Wolfman and Wolfie at the same time.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was my costume. And then there's my little girl in her skeleton getup.
That's great.
Yeah, and I painted her shoes there. I just got her some black canvas shoes and just used a white acrylic paint and painted her shoes
cool.
for her. Yeah, so that was a good time.
Awesome.
That was our Halloween.
Well, I dressed up for the first time in like years this year. I was I don't have any pictures, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was a Ghostbuster because
Oh,
a couple years ago, Hasbro released that they did like a HasLab campaign for like the Proton Pack. I have that official Proton Pack now, so I had to.
oh, right. I remember you sending me pictures of that.
Yeah, so
That thing did look really cool.
yeah, so I got the jumpsuit and all the other extra bits, and so
Awesome. Well, you should have took some pictures.
I mean I have pictures, I just don't have any ready to show.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what today is, right?
Ghostbusters trailer day.
Well, I was going to say it's November 8th, which is Bram Stoker's birthday. So I thought I'd be a traitor
Segueing.
if I didn't wear my my Vlad the Impaler shirt.
Okay.
But go ahead and tell us all about Ghostbusters.
Oh, I thought you were doing a brilliant segue to the Ghostbusters trailer that was released today.
No. Your impressions, thoughts?
Well, I know you're not a fan, so I don't want
Oh
to.
no, I mean I love the first one.
No, I don't know. It's like I'm gonna be there no matter what. I don't get the trailer could be. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm gonna be there for. I love Ghostbusters, except
Right.
for the one in particular, which we shall not mention. But so I mean, yeah, it looks interesting. So I'm there.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
I mean, look, it's a very unexpected direction, and it looks like they're doing like a an ice ghost thing, like it's the ice. So
Okay.
yeah.
I did not even know there was a new trailer out today. I have not seen it yet, so I can't give my impressions on it.
Well, you haven't even seen Afterlife though, so it's a follow up to Afterlife.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that one yet either.
Yeah.
Sorry. I do love the original.
Okay.
So what else is going on? Oh, wait a minute. You have a new book that we need to talk about.
Yeah, a book is done. I'm like fulfilling orders, like I wouldn't say as we speak, but I'm surrounded by boxes and shipping stuff, and yeah. So the last couple of days I've been just filling orders. So yeah, book is done. It's
Wow.
on its way to people.
I can't wait to get mine. Although I am one of the privileged few who received the PDF early.
Yeah, you did.
Benefits of being friends with Josh. And so I have read it, and it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I liked it better than the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, the first one had so much heart to it and, pathos and all that kind of good stuff. This one was just pure entertainment and fun while still progressing the ongoing T-Bird storyline. And it's just, it's just very entertaining and a lot of fun. And it expands on the mythos of your little T-Bird world, the big picture of what's going on out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you get some a little bit more backstory about some things, and yeah, hope people like it.
No, I loved it. I thought it was
Thanks.
awesome. The artwork, the story, everything. It's great. Highly recommended. And we'll talk more in detail about that when we're not on camera, so I don't spoil it for anybody. But yeah, it's one of my favorite books you've done, I have to say.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun to make. Like I said, this is my first. This may turn some people off. I don't know. It's my first book. It's completely digital. So, but I hope it doesn't look that way. I hope it still looks.
I wouldn't have known.
Okay.
I mean, I did know that because you told me a long time ago, but I would not have known that if you hadn't told me.
Yeah.
It looks totally consistent with your previous work.
I think so. I mean, I think it's better, and not because it's digital, but I think it allows me to more accurately get onto page what I see in my head, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because there's so many steps when it comes to. I mean, I love working with pencil and paper. I'm not gonna abandon that. If I have to change something, I've got to go redraw it. Pencil it, trace it, ink it. It's just a whole process, which I'm not opposed to. But there's sometimes where you get to a point where it's good enough. I got to move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely makes editing a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Is the point I'm trying to make. So
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a weird process. I do all my page sketches digitally on Photoshop.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I can put in my lettering and all the text and make sure it all fits and the word balloons are the right size where they're not interfering with the artwork. But then, I print that out and then lightbox it onto a page of, 11 by 17 Bristol board and draw it traditionally, scan that in, clean that up on Photoshop, and then just drop that layer right into the page sketch layer and delete the sketch. And then the text is all where it was supposed to be. That's just my goofy way of doing it. But
okay, can we talk about that for a second? You're not the only person who Otis is really big on this. Otis Ranson, talking about making sure your balloons and words, everything, doing that first so that everything fits with the artwork. I can't work that way because um, even sorry, my dog. Sorry.
That's okay. I love dogs.
You can have mine. Anyway, because I'm still rewriting even when I'm lettering the pages. So like, and things will radically change even at that stage for me. So like, nothing is set in stone. So like, even if I set my balloons and everything in stone, like those are going to change. Like for me, like things are always evolving. Like even with this book, I was rewriting pages as I was like lettering them. Like I was having to like move things around and stuff. So like, I don't know. My process is much more organic. That's just me though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, I do a lot of writing and rewriting too, but I do most of that in the sketches. You know what I mean? Like I will. It's hard to explain because I guess it's different for every story, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have my story written down in a very vague description of what's going on, and then I'll just kind of look at it and go, okay, what's the most important part of this comic that I definitely want to give all the page space and all the room and all the love to, and I'll figure that out first, and then I'll find ways to make the rest of it fit around that central part, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a lot of that thinking and moving things around and redrawing pages in the sketch stage. And I'll put the dialogue down there. What will happen sometimes is after I've done the inking and all that stuff, and I'll get all the page set up in the final version or whatever. Sometimes I will change my mind about what the dialogue should say or a different way to write it, and I'll just rewrite it within the balloons. And it's usually the same idea I'm getting across, just changing the wording so it reads a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And very rarely, every once in a while, I'll say, "Oh my gosh, I really should have just one more little balloon there where somebody throws this line out just to give the reader that much more information or whatever." And on those occasions, sometimes I will try to just digitally make a word balloon and just stick it in there. But most of the time, I don't have to do that. I pretty much do all that malleable, organic stuff in the sketch stage. But I like to be spontaneous, so my sketches are super loose, very sketchy, so that I can have the fun and discovering or whatever on the page when I'm drawing it.
Oh yeah, my thumbnails are indecipherable. They're just like they're barely stick figures. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that way too. Very much so. Yeah.
So how tightly do you pencil? Is it pretty loose, or do you like?
It depends on what it is. Like if there's something I feel like this needs to look right, I really need to make sure this looks right. I will pencil it a lot tighter than other things. If I know I'm just gonna make this an area of something I'm very comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll just be a real blob, and I'll just go right in with the inks and just knock it out. It depends on what it is, like for example, like Batsy's face is tricky. I really have to nail that down in the pencils, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wolf's head structure, I get his head drawn fairly tight, where it's all there pretty much. But something like, his hand might just look like a mitten because I've just got such a formula for drawing those claws or whatever. I'll just draw like an arm, like a basic, almost like a human muscular arm shape. And then I'll just have fun. Maybe I'll just throw a squiggly line down to suggest, oh, that's where his fur is going to go. But then I'll just go in with the brush and just wham, wham, wham it out, because
Mm-hmm.
it's just, it depends on, how comfortable I am drawing that part or how strict it needs to be placed so it doesn't screw me up at the inking stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how it goes. But yeah, I loved your new book. The balance of action and character stuff was really great.
Thanks.
I really, yeah, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away, but it had a lot of new ideas while still delivering the superhero fighting monsters goodness.
Yeah, this may be the most I've ever rewritten one story. That's for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it was because the original intention was because the last one was kind of. I mean, the last one is fun, but it's also very heavy, like you mentioned.
Hmm.
I wanted to do kind of a fun romp for this one,
Yeah.
and so the first draft was very big on the romp, very light on, you know, story, character. I mean, it was there, but it was. So the more I wrote it, I was like, okay, it was kind of reeling it in and like just trying to hammer it out, you know. And actually, there was a whole subplot of like all these new characters I introduced uh, that I had to like completely cut out. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, I had all these like
What can I
I had
ask?
these.
What kind of characters without you
Yeah, they were
spoiling
like
it?
gonna be some new superheroes.
I think that was suggested or hinted at the end, right? A little bit. Wasn't there an image of the character of those like toward the end of the story? I feel like you kind of hinted at them.
N- No,
Or is that something you posted somewhere else that I
yeah,
saw?
I did
Did
early
did you
on when I
po-
was
did you post a teaser of something else that
yes
I
early on
saw?
when I was drawing it, I posted a teaser of like here's the new characters that are going to be in it, and like of course
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay,
they
yeah,
left
yeah,
them
yeah.
really cut out, but they'll show up in a later book.
Right. But what I'm thinking, I think, well, there was also the, gosh, I don't want to spoil anything, but you did introduce some new elements
Uh-huh.
um, relating to the mythology of the
Yeah.
T-Bird world. You know what I'm talking about? You introduced those. Were you going to go into more detail with that in this book, or is that just setting that up for later?
I can end up going into more detail on that stuff than I planned.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I originally thought that the next book would be like a little ways off.
Hmm.
It some time to let it sit, but right after I finished, I was like, nope. Here's all the ideas. So
Hmm.
hopefully, it won't take that long for me to get to it. So
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see what happens next. I mean, I loved the stuff you were setting up with Amy, also the redhead.
yeah, we can't talk about that though.
Okay. All right. I won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But oh, there's some good content with her. I'll just say that in
Yeah.
this book. Yeah.
Yes.
Which surprised me. I liked that. That was really great.
That was set up in the last book too. If if you're paying attention.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 But well, I won't say anything because I don't want to spoil
Yes.
it. I like what you did with her character in this book.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah. So got that going on. Hopefully, get all this knocked out and shipped out within the next couple weeks. So then it's on to the next thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And what is the next thing?
That's a secret.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not like I'm not working on Batman or anything like that. It's just I playing my cards close to my vest. Yeah. So we'll see soon
Right.
though.
Okay.
I'm already working on it. So
Oh, okay.
no.
When will we find out?
Hopefully before the end of the year.
Oh, real? Before the end of this year? Really? Wow, that's cool. All right, great.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I can't wait to find out about that.
Yeah.
Although it's probably something you've told me and I'm forgetting what it is.
In a roundabout way, but not in this form.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Good. All right. Well, I can't wait to find out.
yeah. Well,
What?
speaking. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what else do we have to catch up on here?
Oh well, okay. I have a story to tell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sort of relevant to our interests. So this last weekend, um, we went away to East Texas just for like a little getaway. It's a very woodsy area. We got like a little house by the lake. Just to spend a couple days away from everything. And this area is happens to be known as sort of like the Bigfoot capital of Texas. Um, in fact, they actually have like a Bigfoot convention there every year in this little town. Um, so we're there for a couple days, and then one night we're out. We have a fire outside, doing s'mores and all that stuff. And like the whole time, like I'm joking to the girls, we're gonna go see Bigfoot, hear Bigfoot, just like they know me, they know I'm like all into Bigfoot. They don't take it seriously. But anyway, so we're sitting out there, and I'm not even kidding. We hear what I have heard described, or I've heard on, as a Bigfoot howl. Like I'm not even kidding. Like, and the girls look at me and they are freaking out. And like, I've never seen them get so scared.
That's
Like
awesome.
it was amazing. Like I know no one's gonna believe me. I was gonna describe it as something else. No, it was close. Like it was either a man purposely making a Bigfoot howl or it was a Bigfoot howl. That's just my opinion. Um, but there was no one else out there, and they wanted to go inside immediately. It was awesome. So I'm glad I can mark that off my bucket list. Like I have like this recording. This is what I didn't get it recorded, obviously, but I have. This is what it sounded like. So I'll play it because like I'd heard it before. That's how I knew what it was.
Is this wait? What is this recording? What is this audio?
It's from YouTube. It's from other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not my recording, but
This is what it sounded like.
yeah. Let's see if I can play it on my phone here. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that's what it sounded like. Very similar to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, it was. Like my wife is very much not a believer in any of that stuff. Like Bigfoot could bite her face off, and she'd be like, "That was just a big dog." But
That's great.
she'll kill me for saying this. But the next morning, she was like, "That was pretty weird." That was the most I get out of her. But
Wow.
yeah, so it was very exciting.
Well, I have something to tell you
Uh-oh.
along similar lines. It's probably nothing, but
You don't believe anymore, do you?
no.
You became a Bigfoot atheist.
You know what, Josh? I have a confession to make. It was me all along, even in the 60s. I was just wearing one of my Halloween costumes. Um, so, you know, I've told my story a million times. You know, we lived in California. We moved back to Ohio where I grew up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we're in this new place now. And we were informed that before we moved in, there was an elderly woman who died.
Okay.
I don't know if she died on the premises or if she was taken to the hospital and died, but she supposedly died, and that's why this place suddenly became available. And there's been a couple little moments that have had us going, yeah. The lady that lives next door to us told us that her name was Barbara. So there's been a couple of times when some weird things have happened, and we've said, "It's okay, Barbara." There was one time where my little girl got in trouble, you know, and we were kind of talking to her kind of sternly, and she was upset. And I swear we heard this like sound from like down the hall around the corner in the other room that kind of went, "No."
Whoa.
And we weren't looking at my daughter when we heard the sound. We were talking to each other. And we said, "Was that you? Was that you?" She's like, "No." And my wife goes, "Barbara, it's okay. We're just working something out here. Everybody's fine." And also, the room where we think she slept is always like 10 degrees colder than the entire rest of the place. And there's no draft. I've checked the windows. I've checked everything. I've checked the vents. I've checked everything. But it's always cold in there. It's a little weird.
Okay, well, okay. As a Christian, how do you process this? Like you don't really think that, or do you believe in? Like, what do you do with that?
It depends on the day. There's, you know, hey man, I don't have a solid answer. You know, depends on the day. Most of the time, I would say, you know, ghosts are just demons impersonating spirits. Right. You know, whatever, right. Trying to get on your good side or whatever. But there's also a lot of true ghost stories, and a couple of things I've experienced in my own life that kind of make the whole idea of somebody who isn't all ready to pass all the way on make sense. So it's in my category of, I don't know, who knows. Someday I'll ask that question to the authority, and we'll find out how all that made sense. But yeah, there's been some moments of weirdness. There was one morning where I was And of course, you can chalk this up to a dream state or whatever. But is in that weird moment where I was like half awake, half asleep in the morning. I swear, I thought Monica was like doing this, like boom, 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 boom on my bed, like pushing the bed, like jiggling the bed. I swear, I mean, that's how my brain interpreted it. Like there's like somebody standing next to the bed pushing on it, like just making it go. And then I kind of woke up, and I was in this like half dream phase, and I thought, and for some reason I was flashing back to like our cats at our house in California, and I was like, I just know you're there, and you're gonna jump on the bed. I just know you're there, and you're gonna jump on the bed. And something, I felt like something just went boom, 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 just like almost like my daughter or like a small person just jumping onto the bed and climbing on the bed, and hearing the blankets go boom, 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 boom. Now, was I dreaming? Was that something weird? I don't know. But it happened in that kind of twilight state when you're just waking up, and you just, and of course I sit up and I go like this, just like as if my daughter had just jumped into bed with me, or the cat had jumped on the bed or whatever. Like I felt like it was that real, and usually when I wake up from a dream right on the verge of sleep, I know it was a dream, So I'm not saying anything's going on. I'm just saying there's been some weird stuff, and then we learned that from the lady who lives next door. Oh. So make of it what you will.
I mean, like, practically, like, have you like prayed about like
no?
I would be freaked out. I would be praying over the house and everything.
No.
Really?
No. No, I mean, like I said, I don't know. Are human spirits or ghosts something separate from demons? I know what all the, Yoda level pastors say, but I still think there's mysteries to the universe that none of us can really say for sure. And to me, it's an open question. I don't know.
I mean, regardless of whether it's an open question or not, I would still pray. Like, I still wouldn't want something in my house that I couldn't see, even if it is.
But I'm kind of fascinated with it because it doesn't scare me.
Oh, really?
No.
The supernatural terrifies me.
Really?
Yeah. I pray like I don't want to see anything on that level. Like
really?
Yeah, it disturbs me too much.
I'm always fascinated when that happens. I think also, we've talked about our faith and stuff on here before, but like as a Christian, you are protected from it, So there's no.
Well, yes, but you know what? The doubts in my mind would be going, you did something wrong, so it has a way in because you are not a good enough Christian. That's what my doubts would be telling me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what Ephesians 6 is for, right? Put on the full armor of God every morning. I just find it fascinating. I don't know. My wife's the same way, where she's like, I don't, she leans toward, the biblical explanation for everything. But at the same time, when something like that happens, she was like, Barbara, we're just having a family conversation. Nothing's wrong. And that was exactly where she went. So who knows?
Well, good on you. Like I would burn down the house and leave.
Really?
Oh yeah, I could not tolerate that.
Oh, really? But I mean, but again, it's like these little incidents are so momentary and and harmless. It's just one of those things that fascinates me, makes me wonder about the universe, but I don't try to solve it.
I mean, like, I admire that. Like me, I have to put everything's got to be categorized and immediately, like, oh, yep, that's what that is, and if I'm wrong, at least I'm playing it safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard this really cool sermon recently where the guy was talking about demons, and he kind of summed it up in an interesting way. He said, if you think about it, demons are like a person without a body that follows you around and just hectors you all day long, all day and night. I thought that was a pretty good metaphor or a way of kind of processing it as a mortal human. Because it feels like that sometimes, when you get negative thoughts and stuff,
Well, yeah, like I definitely believe that. I believe in the reality of the supernatural, the world all around us. But like, I don't want to ever see any of it. I don't want to experience it. I don't know. I'm comfortable with the knowledge. I don't need any kind of proof.
Yeah, I've had some weird experiences. And you know, and of course, you know, there's the realist in me that goes, Bryan, you just got a big imagination. You watch too many monster movies. It's all in your head. But there's also been those times where you're in a moment where something just weird happens,
Maybe
and you just
like a Bigfoot howl. Yeah.
exactly where it's like you know that was you experienced something. Maybe you misinterpreted. I don't know, but it's like you said. Either a man was howling like a Bigfoot, or you heard a Bigfoot howl. Because what else could that be? It's that same feeling. It's like okay, either a ghost just did that or made that sound or whatever, or a demon masquerading as a human spirit or whatever, or you know, or I imagined it. But it was, there's the short list of possibilities. It's I don't know. I'm fascinated with all that kind of stuff. Even if I don't, I'll never come down with a hard line and say it absolutely has to be this or that, because I really don't feel like I could possibly know for sure. But like I said, I know what all the experts say, and maybe they're right. Probably they're right, but there's just enough weirdness out there to make you wonder.
Yeah. Better you than me. What's funny, it's like whether it's like UFOs or Bigfoot or whatever, I kind of believe it's all from the same source. Like those don't bother me on the same level that like ghosts do, though.
Okay.
Even though it probably should.
Yeah.
I mean, like, anyway.
So what else is going on, Josh?
Did you so like every, I'm like you. I probably watch horror movies year round. I don't need an excuse at Halloween to watch horror movies. But like,
Yeah, right.
I do try to watch something that I haven't seen before, or like go through a whole series. Anyway, this year I decided like I've seen a good chunk of Godzilla, but not every Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm.
My goal was to sit down and watch every single Godzilla movie. I'm not done yet.
There's a lot of them.
There is. I'm still not done. But I hit the year 2000. I think it's
Wow.
yeah. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Godzilla 2000, and it's actually one of the worst ones in my opinion. It was not good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's been fun.
That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. For me, like, I feel like when I was a kid, they ran Godzilla movies to death on Saturday afternoons.
Right.
And it was always the 60s and 70s ones. So those are my favorites.
Yeah, I'd never seen any of the 90s ones, but
Oh yeah, where they kind of had that revival where they had
yeah,
Biollante and Space Godzilla and all those guys.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember some of those. They were cool, but they weren't as cool to me as the old ones.
I mean, yes, I mean, it's cool in different ways. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
like the old ones, yes, it's cool in its own way because it's fun. It's like,
Hmm.
it's got.
Well, Biollante is a great monster.
I actually liked the new. It was like early '90s. It was Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was one of my favorites. I think
Mm-hmm.
got like time travel and
The modern one that I loved. I hope this isn't the same one you're talking about. I don't think it is. The one that was called Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, All Out Monsters Attack.
I don't think I'm there yet.
That's a great one. It has one of the best looking Godzilla designs,
Mhm.
in my opinion. That's a great one.
Cool.
But my favorites are still the old ones, the 60s and 70s ones that I watched when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was too young to know how silly they were. I showed Godzilla versus Megalon to my little girl a couple weeks ago, the one with Jet Jaguar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had to fast forward through a lot of the human storyline stuff because that's just boring for a kid. But
Right.
once it got into the monsters, she loved it. Her favorite part was when Jet Jaguar goes.
Yeah.
She thought that because she's a little girl, so for her it's more about the friendships than the fighting. But I'll tell you, when Godzilla did his slide on his tail and kicked Megalon 4 times in a row, she jumped off the couch and jumped up and down and was cheering.
Awesome.
So those movies, I mean, call them cheesy, but they work on kids. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, probably because of my costume, I've been on a Wolfman kick. I mean, not that I haven't seen those movies 8 zillion times since I was a kid. You know, I watched them over and over and over again. But I just got in the mood to watch them all again in order, and it just
Universal Wolf.
Yeah, it just reminded me how much I love those movies and love that character of Larry Talbot. I mean, I got a million thoughts. I could talk all day about them. But when you haven't watched, like some of the sequels, when you haven't watched them in a few years, you watch them again as an adult and as an artist too. I think you just appreciate them on the craftsmanship level. Like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, the second one. Like I was watching that one, and I was like noticing, like, man, you know, I've seen this movie a million times. Always loved it for the monster stuff and everything, but but man, I was really appreciating like what a good director the guy was. I mean, William Neal, I think his name was, but always putting like foreground objects in the frame and, you know, composing the shots and everything, and just beautiful camera setups and stuff. Great lighting and shadows and everything. All that artistic stuff is going on in there, you know, and it's got one of the best graveyard scenes ever in the beginning, and it's just classic stuff. And Wolfman's makeup, I think, is top notch in that one too. I mean, it's got flaws, definitely. I could complain about, but I mean, it's got some great highlights. I mean, seeing the Wolfman in an ice cave, you know, there's great stuff in it like that where it's just visually awesome, you know.
Right.
So that, you know, I don't know, just been on that kick lately.
Awesome.
And I watched the 2010 one also, the one directed by Joe Johnston.
Yeah.
With Rick Baker's makeup, and talk about a flawed masterpiece. You know, like the one thing that matters most is the thing they got right, which is the Wolfman's character. Rick Baker's makeup is an awesome modern version of him. All the scenes with the Wolfman are kick-ass. I mean, he's super violent. It's gory. You know, it's like they reminded the world what a Wolfman is capable of, which I approve of. But, I mean, that movie's famous for having had a lot of studio interference, and you can tell. I mean, you know, there's a lot of problems in there with story stuff and everything, but it looks gorgeous, you know? I mean,
I've not seen that.
The cast is great. Benicio del Toro, who, whatever movie I see him in, I either love him or hate him. but that one, I love him in that movie. He's not really playing Lon Chaney Jr. He's playing more like Oliver Reed in Curse of the Werewolf. but he does a great job. And Hugo Weaving is in there, giving the story a connection to Jack the Ripper, which is interesting. Yeah, and I don't like what they did with Anthony Hopkins' character, but I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. But it's got so many highlights and yet so many flaws. You know, it's one of those kind of movies, but
yeah,
I still love it. I love it for its strengths.
Yeah, I put that one on my list to watch this year, but I didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
You can thank Godzilla.
It's all right. Godzilla's great. So, what do we got? What's next on the agenda? You want to talk collecting at all?
Have you got some new stuff?
I got some new stuff.
What you got?
Well, okay. So since, you know, we were in this move situation to a new location, I haven't had a chance to really open anything, but I was ordering stuff. So a lot of stuff was coming in. NECA, you know that company, you know them. They've been doing a lot of great new figures of classic monsters. Right. So they're still in the boxes. I haven't had time to open them up yet. We've been settling into this new place, but here's the Frankenstein. The sculpts on these things are just incredible.
Is that the color or the black and white one?
This is the color one. I got them. I'm not super into the black and white ones unless it fits the character. I don't feel like I need to get doubles of those in every case. Here's the mummy. Whoops. Sculpt on him is just amazing. I don't know if the camera is really picking it up. Plus, when they're in the boxes, it's hard to tell. And plus, you know, now I do love the Misfits as a band, but I also really love the Old Republic serial of the Crimson Ghost, which their mascot character is based on. So saw these and just could not resist. You got your more realistic looking one here. Awesome. And then you got this one with the red cloth cape, which I love them both. Trying to show that without the reflection. I don't know, I love that one. Got the creature. This is an incredible sculpture. There you go. Great sculpt. I can't wait to get these guys out of the boxes. And of course, there's Wolfman.
Nice.
I got 2 of him. Well, this one has 3 different heads too, for 3 different. He has the Larry Talbot Loncini Jr. head, and he's got a snarling Wolfman head. And then one other thing I was going to show you, these I'm really excited about. Okay, so when I was a kid in the 80s, one of my favorite action figure lines was the little 3-inch Remco Universal Monsters. I still got them. And they're the most beautiful little figures of the Universal Monsters. I think they're 1,000 times nicer than even the Super 7 ones that they've done. The sculpts are just so much more detailed and everything. So this is NECA also. They've put out large 7-inch versions of those that glow in the dark. Yeah, so far, they've only done Frankenstein, Mummy, another great sculpt on him, and my pal.
Awesome.
Wolfman. And I love these because while the NECAs are going for movie likeness, capturing the look of, screen accurate likeness, these are just recreating the old Remco versions. But I just absolutely adore those. And they've already announced Dracula is the next one. And they've shown pictures of Dracula glowing, and I don't know, there's something so cool about a glow-in-the-dark Dracula. So he's coming out next, and that's a good sign because that means they'll probably be announcing other ones too. So if they do Phantom of the Opera and Creature, I think they'll have them all.
Nice.
In this form. Yeah, so they're terrific. maybe the action figures I was most excited about this year, or last year when they were announced. But I ordered 2 sets of those so I can open one and keep the other one in the box because the boxes are just so nice.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I got a lot more stuff over here on the shelves behind me that I'll show you some other time. But yeah, it's like the whole time we were moving, I was ordering the stuff I was interested in, and it was all coming in.
Right.
But I wasn't able to open them all up, till now. But I'll be getting on that soon enough now that we're settled in here. So what do you got to talk about?
Yeah, I got a few things. Like this was like the month of Super 7 for me. So like
yes, nice. Classic.
Reproduction of the Shogun Godzilla.
Yes.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I have the original one when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Also there were 2 things this month. So there was a sale on Amazon where like they had basically 50% off all like reaction figures. And on top of that, I had like a gift card that I used at Super 7. So I got a ton of reaction. I cleaned up on like Godzillas. I just got like a ton of these.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, I've got
Hedra.
Yeah, I pretty much got all of them. We don't have them all here, but and then like let's see what else. Some stuff I haven't opened, or I probably won't open, but I got the new wave of the monsters.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this is technically the 3rd wave. There was the first wave in color of Herman, Grandpa, and Lily. Then they did a second wave of them in black and white. And now there's this set in black and white. So I got those. Vampira.
Oh, I gotta get her. That's one that I want. Yeah.
This is an awesome figure.
Yeah, that's one I definitely want to get.
Got the Haunted Mansion Constance Hatchaway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I got the Halloween Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Awesome.
I got a bunch more too. I just don't have them here, but I got like have you seen the Super 7's doing the weirdest? It's like their own creations, but just like a bunch of weird characters. Like there's like a mummy hand. There's like a gosh, why am I blanking? There's like a guy that comes apart.
Yeah, I think I have seen those.
Yeah, I got some of those, and
I was a big fan of The Worst. That series of figures that I think Super 7 did those too, right?
Yeah. I like the weirdest better because they're like more bizarre. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I loved The Worst characters. Like but I was a sucker for those. I got the main line in the original colors, and then I think I got the glow in the dark versions.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. I think. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think we've covered pretty much everything. Any questions?
from the audience or from me?
We'll have to do one of these live sometime so we can actually
Yeah.
get questions.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I think that would be fun too. It would give us ammunition to talk about.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, let's think about that.
So wait, real quick though, what are you working on right now? You working on anything like?
Last time we talked, I was working on Wolf and Batsy issue 13, which was where I think I told you the whole story was revolving around the number 13 and bad luck, and it was a little bit of a parable about backsliding. People who want to be good, but they keep getting caught up in the same bad habitual problems, and then they end up in a kind of hell. And Wolf and Batsy get kind of thrown into the mix. So that's going to be a double-sized issue, I think. But so I'm very close to wrapping that one up.
Okay.
And then I've got, I don't know, I've got beyond that, I've got like, you ever come to those places where you're finishing up one project and you don't know what your next one's going to be, but you've got like 5 or 6 different cool ideas that are all kind of bouncing around in your brain.
Yeah.
And you're just like, which one am I going to do? I don't know. And every week a different one kind of grabs me and I'll kind of tinker with it on the side for a little bit, but I don't know which one is going to jump from the back burner to the front burner. And I don't know yet. Maybe I'll take a break for the holidays. Who knows?
All right.
Yeah. Okay, man. Good catching up with you. And we'll have to get back on doing this regularly now that I'm all settled into the new place, and maybe I'll actually have some of these figures opened up.
Yeah, well, it's also one more thing I forgot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I'm like doing this crazy setup in my kitchen is because I've been without my office room because I gave it up for my daughter. Well, last week my son, he finished college in August, so he graduated and helped him move out last week. So that opens up a room. So here shortly, I'll be actually getting my office back.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Yeah, to put up all my toys and everything. So
nice.
yeah, so
That'll be cool.
I'll have a decent setup pretty soon.
Cool.
Anyway, that was it.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, we will try to make this happen on a more regular basis than we've been doing lately. And see all you weirdos next time. Later.